Welcome to Journaling with Nature, the podcast for those who want to turn curiosity into wonder, a pencil sketch into a rabbit hole of discovery, a moment of stillness into a life full of joy. I'm your host, Bethan Burton. Let's open the pages of our nature journals and explore this world together. Hello, this is episode 160. So I've had an interesting recurring theme coming up lately, and I thought I'd use that as our prompt today. The theme that's been coming up in my workshops and in my experiences and in conversations with others has been play. I did 2 workshops over the weekend, and in both cases there were people there who felt nervous about making marks because they felt they weren't good at art. And this is something that happens in 100% of my workshops. It's super common, and this is why I always start with doing some playful exercises to get people laughing and relaxed. And these exercises always include blind contour drawing, drawing with our non-dominant hand, maybe drawing with one single line, and other different things to get us being silly and shaking off the idea that we need to make perfect drawings to be able to keep a nature journal. Sometimes I also have people in my workshops who have studied fine art or have done a lot of art in the past. And for these people, play is important too. Because if you're especially accomplished, sometimes we can get even more stuck on the idea that we need to make something really accurate because we know we can. So it all starts with play. This week I was also talking to a dear friend who wants to get into bird watching and bird drawing. And we talked about starting with play. Playful drawings of birds. This might be gesture sketches, quick sketches, scribbling, anything that gets you started without worry. Because that's what play does. It eliminates the need for perfection and helps us to ease into mark making. Later on, if we want to refine our techniques, we can, but start with play. Keep it fun and light and joyful. That's what it's all about. So many of my finished nature journal pages actually started with a blind contour drawing. And often because I've done lots and lots of reps with this exercise, they turn out actually kind of like what I was trying to draw, and I just go ahead and add color and notes on my page and it's finished. It's totally legitimate to start and end a nature journal page with a blind contour drawing. It doesn't have to just be a warm-up, it can be the entire page. Another place where play has come up this week is in my conversation with Mary Jo Hoffman, who's an amazing artist and photographer that I spoke with. And actually our conversation is going to come out next week on the podcast. And Mary Jo has taken a photograph of nature every single day for the last 12 years. And she spoke about her practice being play. And of course it is. Why would we want to do this creative thing if it wasn't joyful and fun? I'm guessing that it would be impossible to maintain a 1-a-day practice for more than 12 years like Mary Jo has done if it wasn't a joy and if it wasn't play. Because this is such a passionate subject of mine, a couple of years ago I started a little series on YouTube called Creative Play for Nature Journalers. On each of the videos, I play with one silly exercise, drawing nature with different techniques. They were all done live, and I invited folks to join in with me as I did it. That series is still up on YouTube, and I'll leave a link in the show notes so you can head over there and have a play with me if you feel like it, or you can just skim over the video titles to get ideas for exercises you might like to try. If I've mentioned some exercises you're not sure about, like blind contour drawings, you can go back to those videos and find out more. On top of these playful exercises, you can also just let yourself go with your art materials. See how many different kinds of marks you can make with your favorite pen. See if you can use it in a way that you haven't done before. Hold your pen differently or at a different angle, or hold it right at the end of the pen so that you have less control. Maybe that's what all of this comes down to actually, giving ourselves little obstacles so that we have less control, so that we don't have to control all the marks and we can let spontaneity and surprise be part of the experience. So following on from all of this, today's prompt is to start with play. Give yourself permission to be silly in your nature journal. Start with some warm-up exercises to get your hand and brain working together, and also to shake off fears and perfectionism and just free yourself up for joy to dominate your experiences outdoors. For me, that's what it's all about, and play helps me tap into joy. I'd love to hear your favourite ways to play in your nature journal. Leave me a comment below this post on the Journaling with Nature website. I would love to add them to my list of fun ways to play. Thank you so much for listening. See you next week.